Good morning, guys. Welcome to Thermomix Adventures. Lisa here. Hey, today we are kicking off a brand new series, and if you are one of my subscribers over on my website, which is that QR code over there, Thermomix Adventures, you got this in your inbox last night. Go have a search. You'll see there's news there from Thermomix in Australia, but then you'll also find this month's series. Well, when I say this month, it's going to run over into next month. This month is already a third done. Can you believe it? This month we're talking about batch cooking and how, regardless of what size family you've got, the Thermomix makes it easy to make big portions, and I'm going to teach you how to find those recipes, but I'm also going to teach you how to take a recipe that isn't a big portion and double it, and when, you know, what to look for in those recipes, how to do that safely, the tips so that it cooks through, all those things. So make sure you're keeping an eye out this month. There's going to be lots of things to take away from this, as well as things around storage. You know, it's great to make leftovers, but then if you don't store them right, they certainly don't come back as fabulous as they were the first time. So I've got lots of hints and tips, things you can do to make sure they come back just as good as they were. So grab this from your inbox. Those of you who didn't get it on your inbox, it will come up on Thermomix Adventures usually towards the end of the promotion that I'm running, this little series. Promotion's the wrong word. It's not a promotion, it's a series, but it gets me excited. So I feel like it's promotion because I love sharing with you guys. You'll notice there's quite a few meat-based ones. There is 4 vegetarian options too for those of you who watch on who are vegetarian. Or maybe you just want to increase how much veggies you put in your diet, which I get that too. So today we're starting with the awesome slow roasted lamb shoulder. Okay, I've got family arriving this afternoon, which super excited about. And I was like, what can I do that's easy but feeds like 8 adults? All right, I might as well call my children adults. They eat like adults now. The 4 of the boys just eat so much food, they eat more than me. So I need to feed at least 8 of us, and I wouldn't mind having some leftovers, which this will sure deliver as well. Okay, but I'm going to talk about how to store these leftovers. If I get a chance, I'd love to come back online this afternoon and actually take you through what this looks like cooked and what I'll do to store leftovers, but we'll just see what this afternoon brings when they arrive. So keep an eye out for that. On that note, remember to like, subscribe, love, comment, those sorts of things. It tells then Facebook that you want to see this in your newsfeed. For those of you watching replay on YouTube all over the world, you know, feel free to ask questions in the comments. I do keep an eye out for them. I do try and answer them. Some slip through the cracks, but I try really hard to get back to you guys really timely. So keep an eye there. You can see on Cook today, we have mushroom risotto. Not sure why. I'm presuming the kids are going to make something for lunch with that today. By the way, we use that as a base recipe, but we don't actually use mushrooms in it. The kids don't like mushrooms as they stand. So they will probably put, I'm going to guess, some carrots, zucchini, bacon, chop that up with the onion, and then just make it as per usual, minus the mushrooms. Key ingredient in that is your veggie stock. If you've not made Thermomix veggie stock, put it on your to-dos. It changes the flavour of all your recipes. But you can see here, slow roasted lamb shoulder and fennel something. That's what we're making today without the fennel. So we go to at the beginning of it, said it's been updated. That's okay. You can scroll down. You can see it's going to take quite some time. It says 5 hours and 15 minutes. Now, the longer you can cook lamb covered in the oven, the more amazing it's going to be. Okay? So I would just highly suggest, like it's now 9:30 in the morning. I'm going to be putting mine on all afternoon. It'll come out probably at 5 o'clock. I'm going to put it on for that long because then the bone literally will just fall out and the meat just falls apart. It is the most pulled, like textured, delicate, soft you'll find. So yes, it says this. I'm going to do just a little different. Okay, but I'm going to take the sauces off the top and we're going to make that together now. So it does say prep. It's easy. Prep time 30 minutes. So preheat oven to 200 degrees. Set aside a roasting pan. Now I've got my awesome Fira. Now this is actually, I don't know, this is not the roasting pan. I don't know what they call this one, but what I look for is the fact that number one, it has a lid. You want to cook your meats that you want to be pull apart style, covered, so that the juices absorb in and it becomes moist and soft. This has a lid. So this is from the Fira collection on Mix Shop. Love it. And here's the said lid. Okay, these are heavy duty. Okay, when I buy my lamb, I look for a lamb that can fit in it. Like I specifically look for that. If I'm going to cook this most of the day in my oven, then I'm going to want something that is big but not so big it can't fit. If it can't fit, by the way, say you buy one and it won't fit in your roasting pan, alfoil is your answer, okay? So that's the answer you want. This is a 2.88 kilogram lamb leg, okay? So that's what I'm going to use, and it fits perfectly in, which is what I looked for, because I want to be able to put that lid on, okay? So set that aside. What I also like with the Fira is you can actually cook on a stovetop with them. So if you want to sear something off to start, or you want to make gnocchi and you want to fry it off, you can do it on a stovetop. How cool is that? Anyway, here we go. Let's get started. So the first thing it's asking for is the zest of a lemon. I've just sent one of the kids out the back to grab, and it says 1 4cm strips, no white pith, and lemon juice and set aside. So I'm just going to do, it says 1 by 4cm strips. I don't know what that means. Okay, it's too early in the morning. I haven't had enough coffee to understand that. I'm just going to put a whole lot of strips of lemon peel in there. You'll notice mine's a bit green. That's okay. It's fresh off the tree. So I love that with the Thermomix you don't have to own a zester. Oh, that one missed. You can actually just take your peeler. This is a Thermomix peeler from when I first got my Thermomix, 10.5 years, yeah, nearly coming up to 11 years ago. This was the gift with purchase, was the kitchen toolkit. And love it. They have upgraded and changed the style of peeler in the kit, in their toolkit, and it doesn't come as standard with your Thermomix anymore unless it happens to be a gift with purchase. But how cool is that? Not often you've got an 11-year-old peeler still, hey. Okay, focus, Lisa. Can you tell it's been too long since we've talked? I feel like there's lots to tell you. Okay, 6 cloves of garlic. I'm cheating. I'm going to use minced garlic. I'm just going to come back and add that later because I want this to do a really nice chop. So add the lemon zest, check. 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns. This is what I was referring to when I said I wanted to make sure it does a really good chop. I don't want peppercorn chunks, yeah? So if I put the wet 6 cloves of garlic in, which is going to be about 6 teaspoons of my crushed garlic, I'm creating a wet bowl to start off with. And with a wet bowl, you're not going to get a really nice chop, which we want a nice grind down, a mill of those peppercorns. Okay, insert the measuring cup. By the way, has anyone got peppercorns they've had for eternity? That's how I feel like my peppercorns. They seem to never disappear. I seem to have the same packet I have had since we got married. It's a long time. Okay, turn speed selector to speed 8, and it's got 4 seconds. So up we go. Let's let that do it. I must remember to add that garlic in. Scrape down the sides with a spatula. Now it's wanting some oil. Okay, so let me come back and add that garlic in while I remember. So because, as I said, I don't have fresh at the moment. Oh, it didn't do as much of a job as I would have liked on that lemon. That's okay. We'll hit the back arrow and give it another go. But now it's gonna struggle a little bit. That's okay. Let's go again. Didn't even look to see if my bowl today was damp. Might have been damp out of the dishwasher. All right. I reckon that's about 6 cloves worth. All right. Let's hit the back arrow. So if anything doesn't ever go quite the way you want, you can just push your back arrow and it'll take you back to the step you're on so that you don't have to remember it, and up it goes. See, I reckon that's stuck to the side more. Can you hear how now there was a little spin and then you could hear it stop? Doesn't matter. I'm not that worried. All right, actually, that's a lot better. There's a couple of large bits still, but it looks awesome. So next up, we're going to add to it. Now it says olive oil. I don't know if you're as stingy as me, but at the moment, olive oil for a 3 litre container is over $60 in our local, I won't say which shop. It's a big chain. And I'm not going to buy olive oil at $60. I want them to mark it down to $40, $45 again for me. So I have been putting off buying that for quite some time. So we're going to use coconut oil instead. So I do have, there's been bits and pieces that I've substituted with other oils. I did have a little bit of avocado oil left over from something and things like that. So I have just been using substitutions where I can. You know, winter is here with coconut oil when it is now solid. And only, 3 weeks ago, it was not solid. So I'm going to put in, and I'm not going to put in the full 60. 60 feels like a lot of oil to me. And I know that we're making kind of a marinade. Excuse me, leaning on the back here. Just giving myself something to push on. Yep, 20 is close enough. So, coconut oil, Okay, some salt, 2 teaspoons of that. In it goes. I'm using Celtic salt at the moment. Oh, next. Some nutmeg. You'll be pleased to know. I know some of you guys have been saying, Lisa, top up your nutmeg. I finally did. So, those of you watching along, you know nutmeg's not, I don't like nutmeg that much. I know that it has its place. The only other thing I don't eat much of is coriander. Who are my coriander dislikers? Hate's a very strong word, so I'm not going to say that. Who doesn't like coriander? It's not in this recipe, it's okay. A little tip though, if you ever have a recipe with coriander, like the beetroot salad for example, if you've not made beetroot salad because you're like, oh, it's got coriander leaves in it, mint or parsley will do beautiful in that recipe. Really fresh, okay? Okay, on with the lid. Let's mix this through. It's got turn speed selected speed 4 and it's got speed 4. So it's just going to blend this together slightly. I am wondering if I need to melt that coconut oil because it is so cold. Let's see how we go. No, that might be all right. Let's have a look. It's all right. That's done. That's done okay. So now it's telling us to coat our meat. All right. This is the part I really don't want to do on camera. You guys can tell, hey, from me hesitating. Now it says to place this in a roasting rack to suspend it. And I'm not going to do that. I've never actually done that. Sorry about my camera. It's taking a moment to catch up. I always put it in its juices. I let it go right down the bottom. So I'm just going to open this up. Let's get this into the pan. Now, I'd love to know in the comments if you've made, a slow cooked lamb before. It doesn't have to be a Thermomix recipe, but have you done that before? Is that something you know how to do? I've got to say, it's only been the last 12 months that I have learnt to do it well. I don't think I really enjoyed, and I don't think I cooked it properly is the word I'm after. I don't think I actually did it well before 12 months ago. And a friend of mine said it's as simple as making sure you put liquid in the bottom, whatever that liquid is. It can just be water and stock if you'd like, and covering it and cooking it low and slow. Now, excuse me give me one moment to just wash my hands. Yes, so my friend said that's all you've got to do. She said you can put a tin of tomatoes in the bottom, you can put a cup of water in the bottom, you can put wine in the bottom, it doesn't matter. Cover it and cook it at 150 degrees all day. So this recipe calls it for 2 hours at 180, I think, and then another 2 hours at 180. I'm going to bring it down lower and I'm just going to cook it all day. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, so meat in the Fira. You guys can't quite see that. I'll do some rearranging in a second. Out with this beautiful homemade marinade. You know exactly what's in it. There's no things that you don't want to be eating in it. Okay, and then we're just going to rub that into the, you could rub it all around top and bottom. I'm just going to rub it on the top. It does say score it around the bone. I'm not going to do that. I've never done that. I think it makes it pull in around that bone. I'm not even rubbing it in, guys. I don't know if, I'll see if I can show you back here. It's a bit of an awkward pan to try and show you with. No, it's not awkward. It's my space is awkward. So I'm just kind of pushing it on the top. Just push it down. I don't want to touch it. All right. Okay. Place reserved lemon juice, which I didn't juice my lemons, but I'm going to now cut it in half. And I'm just going to squeeze them into the bottom of the dish. And it says with 250 grams of water. Now, as I said, it doesn't have to be water, but water is just the most simplest thing to grab, right? So I'm just squeezing these lemons in, the one lemon in what's left of it. It smells so beautiful. For something that was so green underneath, it smells amazing. If you didn't have lemon, I mean, I would just roast this, as I said, with just water, tomato, whatever underneath. It's beautiful. Okay. So some water. I'm not even going to be precise with the water. Okay, it says 250 grams, which is a cup. Just guess. Honestly, you can't go wrong. And now my only variation to this recipe, if you've got the time, lower the temperature and cook it for longer. If you don't have the time, say you were putting this on at lunchtime and you need it for 5 p.m, then you're gonna have to cook it higher. Okay, but if you want it to be more tender, more full off the bone, then let's just go ahead and I'll show you. Clean and dry mixing bowl. Okay, place the lamb. Actually, I want to see something. On Cookie Do, they have a spelling mistake there. I wanted to see if they had it here. Place the lamb onto a wire rack into the roasting pan. Place the reserved lemon juice and 250 grams of water into the base of the pan. Cover tightly with aluminium foil and secure a lid. So this is said lid. Place into the oven and reduce the temperature to 160 and roast for 2 hours. Check the liquid levels and top up with additional 250 of water if needed. Roast for a further 2 hours. Okay. Remove the lamb from the oven, uncover and add fennel, potatoes, baste the lamb with juices and then cook for another 30. So you're looking at 4 hours and 30 minutes of cook time until it's falling off the bone. Okay. Do me a favor, give yourself lots of time. Okay. You will not regret it. Like if it does come out and it's not fall off the bone, you can thinly slice it. I do that. I have done that on a couple of occasions because I've run out of time and it's 6 o'clock and everyone's hungry. But if you've just got those extra couple of hours up your sleeve, you can just leave it cook and it's phenomenal. But the key thing here is it needs to stay wet underneath. If you open it up, and I don't actually ever open mine up, I literally leave it closed for the next 6 hours, 7 hours till I come back. Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. If you can keep it closed, all that's contained in there. Now, before we go, sensor or meter if you've got the old school one. If you've got an open topped pan that you are alfoiling instead of putting a lid on, this works wonders for telling you when your meat is fall apart. Okay? Now, you can look on, there's an app that comes with this that you don't need a Thermomix to do it. It will connect to the Thermomix if you've got a TM6, but you don't have to. It's got an app. And you can put this into the meat and it's going to alarm at you when it is fall off the bone tender. Okay? Now, it doesn't work through the lid of the Fira. This cast iron is too thick for it to be able to communicate through. So I'm not going to put it in today. And as I said, low and slow for 6 hours, 7 hours. This is just going to be phenomenal. Okay, and we'll be serving it with just some roast veggies. This recipe puts some veggies in for the last half hour and stuff. We'll just do them separately. There's too many of us for that. But yeah, if you've got this, use this. If you're not using a cast iron lid on your dish, okay? It just game changed. Like even when we're cooking, like my kids made a carrot cake yesterday. This is what told them it was ready. So they were confident to know that it was, because you know all the ovens are different and sometimes that makes a huge difference to your final outcome. So the sensor is amazing. I don't know if it's in the mix shop. I'm not sure if it's still there. That's where you can find it when it is available. The old school one meter, it doesn't work in baking, but it will work in meat. Okay, so absolutely fabulous, both devices. Highly recommend them. But otherwise, I'm gonna get this in the oven. I'll try and come back this afternoon and show you, those of you on YouTube, I will plug it together for you if I manage to get back here and show you what this final product looks like. Once you do this once, you'll go back and use this recipe time and time again because it is just amazing. Like you can then use this meat to make meat pies. You can use this meat and storage of this meat. If I don't make it back to you this afternoon, let me just quickly tell you. Leftovers is best to actually vacuum seal. So Cryovac it. And Cryovac it flat. Now you can get your vacuum seal from the mix shop. They've got bags there too. And I'll show you what I do. I don't know if I've got any in the freezer at the moment, but I'll try, when I come back this afternoon, I'll try and show you. So you actually pull your meat, you put it in there, you vacuum seal flat, and then when you want to reheat it, all you do is put a sink full of really hot water and you literally put your frozen bag in the sink of hot water. And in about 10 minutes time, you've got a piping hot bag of food ready to put on a plate. And it's like new. Like it is like new. Okay, sometimes I've had to refresh the water in the sink or boil the jug and actually put in boiling water. Mind you, my serves of my bags are not as thin as probably your bags would be. Like if you're just serving 1 or 2 people, you've got 2 serves in there. I'm serving 6, my bag's a little wider to get through and defrost, yeah? But it literally comes back like new. It is phenomenal. Nachos, pies, whatever you can think of. It is just beautiful later. Stuffed potatoes, jacket potatoes with this meat in it. and sour cream and cheese on top, phenomenal. So there's so many ways you can then reuse this for a simple meal later once you've done it once. And that's what this whole series is about. It's about cooking once and eating time and time again, okay? And if there's just 2 of you, this is perfect, because I keep hearing it from you guys that you just eat less and less these days, but you also don't necessarily want to cook every night, but you also don't want the same thing tomorrow night. You want to be able to put it away and get it out when you want it. But also when it comes back that second time, you want it to be amazing. You don't want it to just be blah, average. So that's what this whole series is about, okay? So I'm excited to come with you on this journey. As you've got questions, reach out. Love to hear from you. Can't wait to hear those of you who do this. I know there's quite a few of you who actually do batch cooking, and you do it really successfully and well, and it's the way you make your life easier at the end of the week. So can't wait to hear from you guys as you share your wisdom as well. But otherwise, thanks for joining me today. If you're not a subscriber, jump over to TMX Adventures. The first thing you'll get when you do subscribe is a fridge, freezer, pantry list, so that you've got your basics covered when you've got a Thermomix, so that you don't have to dash to the shop and go, oh, what am I going to have for morning tea? You've got it there. You know what to start with. So that's the first thing, and then you get a few other hints and tips in the weeks following from me around how to use your aroma and get the most out of that. We are going to use that in this series because it's a really good way to get more volume of food out of your Thermomix in one go. So anyway, come with me this series, and I'm excited to show you and impart what I know on, and hopefully inspire you to use your Thermomix in different ways and get the very most out of it. But otherwise, guys, take care, have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Welcome back to TMXing Adventures. Lisa here. Hey, look, I told you I'd try and come back this afternoon and show you the final product of this lamb. It has been in the oven for 6 and a little bit hours, and it's out, it's back here, and I'm going to take the lid off, and moment of truth, let's see how delicate and soft this is. So I've got it in the Fira. Let's pop the lid and let's see. It's been out of the oven for about 20 minutes, maybe not even that long at the moment. When I first got it out, I suspect that would have been boiling, that liquid. It's holding now. You can see there's a little layer of film on the of like I guess it's a fatty film on the top. I'm going to see if I can get that image bigger for you. I wonder if I can get this larger. It may take up other spaces. Excuse the camera not looking quite right, but I'll see if I can get it larger for you guys. There we go. All right, so you can see there you got your lamb in there. As I said, I can see this looks like a fat on top, okay, and then I've got a juice underneath that you could actually skim off and turn into a gravy. And then I've got the beautiful layer on top. And the moment of truth, I've got 2 forks. Can I pull this apart? Now, if you can't, remember slicing it thinly will be amazing. So if you've gone and shortchanged your timing, don't stress, don't throw it out. It's fixable. Yeah, just slice it instead. But let's have a go at pulling this apart. Can you see that? Can you see what is happening here? Look at this. Look at that. That is just amazing. It is just completely pull apart, fall off the bone. I reckon if it wasn't hot, I could put my fingers in there and take it off the bone easily. It would just literally fall off the bone. Look at that. You can see the bone coming out. Let me see if I can pull this meat over a little bit. Now I'm putting it into that sauce. I don't mind that it's going to sit in that sauce. It'll kind of just be a bit gravy-like. Look at this. Like, there's not a single bit of this that is still solid. You've got to try this, guys. It smells divine, and it just pulls apart. Like, it melts in your mouth. Like, it is amazing. Oh, there's a little buzzing fly. All right, so I can't get over it. Like, it just falls off the bone. Look at it. All right, so there you go. That is your lamb. That's what it looks like. Now, talk about storage before you go. Wait for that camera. There it goes. How to store this. Now, this is 2.8 kilos. There's probably a couple of 100 grams in the bones. What do you do with it? Now, you can obviously eat some tonight if you'd like to. If you've got leftovers, which from 2.8 kilos you probably do, grab yourself a vacuum sealer. Doesn't have to be the Mix Shop brand, but this is certainly amazing. They actually come with some bags. So you've got your little vacuum seal in here, which is charged by a USB. And then you've got some bags. These are perfect for 2 portions all the way up. And as I made mention earlier, you know, I do family size portions of meat in here. Mine is probably about that thick, but if you're doing single portions, you're making them nice and thin. And then you can reheat them in a hot sink of water, or preferably boiling water in the sink, and literally eat it straight away. You can then take that leftovers and eat it as it is. You might put it on nachos. You might make a tomato-based sauce just with some garlic and onion in your Thermomix, a tin of tomatoes, some of your veggie stock, and put your meat back in it and turn it into something else, like a bolognese with pulled meat. You could use it as like a Mexican night, put some taco seasoning on it. There are so many different ways you can use pulled meat, and in this case lamb, in a different way later. Okay, it doesn't have to be, hey, I'm going to eat it like we are tonight with roast veggies. Those leftovers can be used in other ways. Okay, so put it in your vacuum sealer, suck the air out of it, or a Cryovac if you've got one of those. Freeze it flat packed, because then the reheating is incredibly fast and incredibly easy. Okay, and then either eat it as it is or create a second dish with it, which is super cool as well. But otherwise, give this a go. It is absolutely amazing. It smells perfect. I'm just going to put the lid on, take the forks out, and then, as I said, the leftovers, I will be putting the leftovers in here and using them again. I think we've got some corn chips still, so we will probably have them later in the week with some corn chips. So, or even on the weekend for an easy Saturday night dinner. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you haven't tried lamb, give it a go. Like, it's phenomenal. As you saw, I haven't done the fennel part. I did change the cook time. I did do it a little different because I know how I prefer to do it, which is like this, where it completely just falls apart. Try it both ways. See what works best for you. Or if you want to do it so it completely falls off the bone, do what I did. 150, 6 hours. And I never looked at it again. I didn't open the lid. I didn't check the water. Just left it, and it is just absolutely divine. But otherwise, if you've got questions, reach out. Happy to hear from you. I hope you're going to give this recipe a go. Tell me what you think when you do. Let me get this camera back to normal. There we go. But otherwise, keep enjoying your Thermomix and getting the most out of it. I can't wait to come back to you tomorrow and continue our series on batch cooking. I know a couple of you guys registered today as a subscriber. I will try and get this to you this evening or tomorrow so that you've got that. And then those of you who subscribe, you'll actually get, when we get the next series going in a month or so's time, you will be the first ones to know about this. If you're not a subscriber, head over to TMXing Adventures, sign up over there, and you'll get these things to your inbox, which is super cool. But otherwise, have a great day. Get Thermomixing. Can't wait to hear what you're making, and reach out if I can help you. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.